Guys, it is I again with a cup of coffee, a rifle and some products from Strikeforce in fruit. I have a slurple of coffee. Right, I mentioned it on the tail end of my last video, but basically we've got two camouflage products here. This is a web-tex military product, high strength material tape in DPM, which I'll show you in a minute. Get out of the packet, 10 meters off, $4.99. And this is what they call stealth tape, made by Kombat, $4.99 again, and it's 4.5 meters on a roll. This, being a cloth tape, will stick to everything. This, being a stealth tape, will only stick to itself. We'll just get them out of the packets a minute and give you a bit of a closer view. Yeah. So that's the DPM cloth tape roll. Cracking bit of kit for $4.99. You get loads, and that's so you can see the cloth through it. Not stretchy, very, very strong. I reckon you could probably use it for repairing your Kombats and your bags and things like that if you need to. And this is the stealth tape, which, same DPM, looks, you might not be able to pick it up on the camera, but it looks a bit crinkly because you stretch it. You see it stretching that? And it will only stick to itself, look. Go sideways, I don't know. Try and stick it to this packet. It just doesn't want to know. It'll only stick to itself. So then, the plan for tonight is, with my very old break barrel rifle, which I use for field target, I'm going to wrap the scope in the stealth tape, because it's a new scope and I might take it to other rifles in the future, and I don't want to leave residue on the scope. So we're going to wrap the DPM around that. The cloth tape we're going to use to wrap the barrel, because it's so old you can't even put a silencer on it. Wrap the barrel, the hinge plate, leaving about a 5mm on the end to allow for the swing. Both sides. We'll leave that break point black, and we're going to try and get underneath here. Now, I'm not going to bore you with going through everything, because it will just be absolutely boring. So we'll do some select bits. We'll wrap a bit of the scope so you can see that, and we'll wrap a bit of the barrel so you can see that, and give you a finished product as well. Now, this stock, just so you guys know, used to be brown paint. Horrible it was, absolutely hideous. It's now been cleaned, varnished, stained and dyed to allow it sort of be a lovely, lovely finish, and it just, oh, it just smells so good. And there's someone in the background whispering I done that and this, that and the other, but I don't know who they are. Considering they won't go on camera, they can't possibly take any credit for it, can they? And you can stop giving me the birdie. Righto, we'll go set up, guys, and we'll start a piece off and see how we go. Right then, so we're pretty much ready to go. Obviously for this, you're going to need your rifle and your scope. Now, I don't want to take my scope off because I know where it is. It's in the right place. It is already set for me, and I spent a long time setting this up, and I don't particularly wish to do it all over again. And plus, by the time you've got your camouflage in there, it's permanent. So what you need to do is you have to have a clamp so you can go hands-free, or in my case, a main. If your scope has got caps on the end of them, take them off. What we're going to do is use the right end. We'll use the caps to, because they're rubberized, just clamp over the first bit of material. We'll stretch it over just to hold it in place. Plus, it will give us a nice black DPM contrasting look. So you need your caps off. You're going to need a set of scissors, and later on, when we come to do the turrets tops, you'll need a really sharp knife, an X-Acto knife or blade. You're obviously going to need your DPM tapes. You need a cup of coffee, and more importantly, you need a caramel wafer. You cannot possibly do any work without a caramel wafer. Let your wives and girlfriends and mothers know. So, what we're going to do is going to cut this, and we're going to try not to be wasteful. But obviously we can't run the roll, so what we're going to do is just give her a little oversit here, spiral it up and have a guesstimation of how much we need. So I'm reckoning with stretch we're going to be around this point. This, like I say, this is like amalgamating tape, so you're going to have to work it and heat it. Well, not heat it with anything, but heat it with your hands to get it to work. So here we go then, a moment of truth. What we might have to do, because it's like down, is go from bottom to top to make the finish a bit easier. Because that, as you can see, the cap will cover there, but it won't cover down here or on the side that I'm looking at. So I reckon we've got the right amount of material, but we haven't got the right sort of twist. So, as this is all experimental, you're seeing it the first time I'm doing it. I've not even tried this before. So, look at that, peel straight off. No residue on there, none at all. Maybe what I'll do this time is put one run on and put the cap over it. That's still not working, so this is very clever. I think we're going to go from this end back to that end. So I'll just have a few experiments and then we'll come back and tell you which way is best. Save you standing here and holding on. Just twist you around, guys. There we go. See a bit more. So there we go. We now got the majority of it covered. The cap's on the end. So what I found out is when you put it on the end, start at your wide end and leave approximately 3mm overhanging the bevel of the end of your rifle. That will allow you, once you put your first twist and a bit on, enough room if you put your rubber caps on wonky and then bring them in and lift the rubber up, they will slide back a bit, but not so much that it will push it out. Doing these little tiny bits in here, we cut a strip out from this, and because it's, you might not be able to see it, I hope you will. See, it's gridded, so you can use that as a good template to work out, you know, I need to be 3 squares across, 2 squares across, and cut it down your line, and away you go. And then in here all we did was start it and just spin it round and round and round on my fingers, because there's not a lot of room. So what we're going to do is just cover the scope caps, sorry, not the scope caps, the windage and elevation caps. Just roll that sideways. We'll bring it as close up for you in a second. Just going to do the other one and then we'll give you an overview of the scope. Right then, I'm just taking you off the tripod a minute so you can see this. That is now one wrap scope. And I've got a little bit underneath here, see I've got to tuck into my thingy, into my caps. And the windage and elevation turrets have been done as well. So, I'll get you back a little bit. There you go, look at that. How about that for DPM covered scope? It all helps to confuse the poor little bunny rabbits. So next, out of all of that, the only wastage piece I've got is this. It's allowed me to really guesstimate really easy. I know I use that and I probably should cover me pistol grip just to give me a bit of grip on the pistol grip trigger. Give me a bit of texture against the trigger. So it is smooth, it's been worn smooth. But there we go, that's pretty good. So next what we're going to do is now going to use the cloth tape, and we're going to do it on the metal bits. But we're going to start this end and do the barrel first, I think, and then come back. And we'll see how we go on that. We'll get you on that in a minute. Right, just to give you an idea, there is my DPM jacket, the rifle balanced on it. And I think you'll agree that blends really, really well. Now we are no more than a yard, less than that, next to it. So if we come back a bit, I mean, the rabbit's going to be, what we're going to be shooting rabbit and squirrel and everything, so that's going to be 25 yards ish. Look at that, it's gone. Scope's actually gone. That's fantastic. So we'll do the rest of the thingy and we'll see how we go. Right then. What next we're going to use is the web-tex tape to cover the main barrel. Now what we're going to do is stick to the relevant sections. I'm talking a bit quietly because my little boy might wake up in a minute. So we're going to go in simple lines. We're going to go from, I'm going to loosen you up so I can spin you a bit. There we go. We're going to go from this fold sight back to the barrel line just here. What you want to do now is going to flatten it round the barrel and then this side, but you're going to do one side at a time. Just pull up this loose thread. As you can see, we've gone over our line a bit at the back here, so we'll do that bit last. I'll show you what. So if you've got a small gap here, don't really worry about it. You can, if you wanted to, run another strip over, but it's underneath. It's not going to look too bad at all. So we've got these little tiny flaps here that we've got left over. We'll just smidge them down. But what we want to make sure of when you're doing this is have a look, make sure it doesn't cover any pin. In here you can't see it, but just there is a hinge pin. So it doesn't cover it this side, but as we twist it over, you can see that it does cover it that side. So it's slightly uneven on when we laid it. All we do is we'll pick it up a bit. He says. Cut off square. But I don't want to waste. I'll just chuck it back on, matching the DPM pattern. If you missed a bit, that's fine. Just get back with it. Push it on. Doesn't really matter if the DPM pattern doesn't match, because that's the whole point of DPM. Special patterning material. So you can't get the staff these days, can you? Right, so that's basically how you do it. What we're going to do now is cut your camera. We're going to go round and finish off the rest of the rifle all the way back up here that you can't see at the moment, it's out of shot, and then we'll show you the finished product. Right, YouTube, finished, and what a difference that makes. Give a bit of light there. That light's on. What a difference. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Just disappears. So if I can get it held in the light for you a minute. It says, anytime you're ready. Right, we'll start this then. We've got a barrel wrap. We've gone over our target site because we don't use them anymore. So we wrapped it all the way around the barrel like you saw. Cut the flat plates on here. Can't go too close because this gets oiled really regularly, this area, so it won't stick obviously to the oil. We left it blank here, which is, I'll just pop it for you, the right barrel area, so we don't want to go in there, don't want to be anywhere near that. So just before that starts by a couple of mil, we've wrapped it. We did a section from this scope leg to the front, over the top, and did in between the two, over the top, then all the way back here, folded an end piece round, star cutted it and folded it round. Then we've laid over with one straight short piece on that side, rock it over, and we'll do exactly the same on that side, upload one straight piece. Now up close you can see the seam, but you can't see it when it's away. Now you might argue it's a bit bitty because there's black on it, there's green on it, and you know, got your eyes for everything's black, but it's so small an area. If I just back out here a minute, it's such a small area of black that it's disappearing, and as you can see against the DPM jacket, it just goes. I'll just get it. So that stood up. You can't see the black really. Now if my friend lies it against the jacket again for us, see that way round, look, the whole blooming rifle disappears. You've got very little wood. So if you lay it down please, there you go, that's that side. Lay it down please my friend. There you go, all gone again. Even as we get up close, I'm standing on the light of the kitchen now, that's pretty good. So when you're wrapping a barrel, it's pretty tricky. Areas like round here, you've got to cut and fiddle, you need a scalpel blade really. This stuff is brilliant. But yeah, it's turned out rather nicely I think. So let's get it back in its case and just go over the product once more. So, in conclusion then, hardly used any of this, and hardly used any of this. Now, wow, what really good products. That is excellent for wrapping delicate parts in that you don't want sticky residue to, because it's self-adhesive. Fantastic. I mean, that's going to be brilliant. Definitely be using that again. And that is great for stuff that you want wrapped all the time. Fantastic. $4.99 from Strikeforce, and you'll get 10 meters on a roll of that, and you'll get 4.5 on a roll of that for $4.99 each. Cracking. What can I say? Awesome. Thanks again to Jasper for pointing out the products to me. He's a good bloke down there. Get Strikeforce through him. Got a couple more Strikeforce's products coming up I've had to buy, so we'll do them recently, but do them soon. So I just want to get the old girl done. So you guys how we do it, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it come out alright. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll put Strikeforce's details in. But either way, cannot knock these two products. They're absolutely brilliant. Definitely be using them again. Fantastic, can't say enough. Awesome. Righto guys, I'll catch you later on.